Hey everybody, it's Joe, and I just wanted to share my journey so far with the Hasselblad X2D, and I also wanted to show this beautiful 90mm lens, and I have some samples to show as well. Let's get to it. Hey, what's happening everybody? What is going on in your world? Well, in my world right now, this is going on. I have the Hasselblad 90mm 2.5 V, and I love this lens. It is so sharp. You know, people tell me, well, you know what, it's clinically sharp. I read the reviews, I listen to people online. And my answer to clinically sharp is I would rather have something sharp. Clinically sharp, whatever you want to say. Because I can then make it any way I want. If I have a lens that's sharp but soft, I guess, sharp but soft, like some of the Voigtlanders have got cool effects on stuff, but you can't really make that sharp. This I can take and make it soft. It's already sharp. I don't have to try to make it sharp. I'd much rather have that. And so far, I mean, I've had this system before, and again, if you watch my last video, I regret selling it. I really regretted it. And this camera, the 90mm and the 55, which I have right here, the thing I would really enjoy is a wide angle lens, and down the road when I can afford to do that, pay for it outright, I'm going to get a 25mm. I do a lot of architectural stuff, and that wide angle is so nice. I had the 21mm, it was the XCD lens, but it wasn't the V lens. It was an older style lens. Heavy, oh my God, that lens was heavy. Vignetted quite a bit, but that's all corrected in software. But the 25mm, I think would be, I don't know, that's probably like 20, maybe 21, 19mm. I have to look and see on a full frame 35mm digital camera. So that would be really nice. But I'll tell you, yesterday I went and I photographed the commissioners of Stark County. And I knew they only had 15, 20 minutes. They told me half an hour, but I knew it was going to be less than that. I went early, set up all my gear, came back, and I was ready to go. And I shot 3 headshots and then 1 group picture, and I used this camera, and I used the 90mm lens even for the group. Now there's only 3, but it was spread out quite a bit because they had a long table, as you can see. They had the table, and then they were their name tags underneath and that type of thing. So I did pictures that way, and there was so little post-processing with it. It was just phenomenal. They are extremely sharp. And what I had to worry about was the reflections. There was a low ceiling, number one. It was probably 8 foot, maybe 8 foot, probably 7 where I was, because there was a ramp that went up, and then their table was there. So I had to position the lights so I didn't get any reflection on the Ohio seal. And then also for the group shot, I did it so I could do the entire width of that with the writing on it. And it was all high metallic glossy, and it come out really well. I used 2 lights. I used a softbox, my bronze color, in the Octabox. And then I also used it was a white ceiling with drop tile, so I used my Pro Photo, bounced it up into the ceiling to give it an overall light fill area. So it was nice. It worked out really, really nice. And when I zoom in and look at these pictures, it's amazing. I mean, it is literally, it's just mind-blowing. Now, I'm not going to print. Who's going to print like that? You know, unless you're doing something really high magnification, high gloss, high. But it's amazing to see the detail and the actual ability to change exposures really easy. The tonal range on 16-bit is amazing, truly amazing, and the dynamic range is phenomenal. But I just did a rough shot. I had the secretary there come in, and I asked her if she would mind sitting in for a picture, and she's like, well, I don't know, I'm not really. She goes, I know you take beautiful pictures. I see your stuff everywhere. I said, just come on, have a picture taken. So I told her I would give her a photograph, and she was so thrilled with this picture. She's like, I actually look good. I said, you look good anyways. Come on. People have such a low self-esteem, or they're just saying it. I don't know. But it really come out nice. And I basically eyeballed it. I took my light meter with me, my little Sekonic. Took that with me, and I thought I would use it, but I just went by how it looked. And honestly, you can really underexpose these files and bring them up in Lightroom. I use Lightroom. Focus is it's just too cumbersome for me. Maybe it's because I don't know how to use it, but Lightroom has the camera profile already in it. And when I look at them side by side, they look identical, literally identical. So, which I'm really surprised that Capture One does not even support this format. Doesn't support it, which is a bummer. I love Capture One, but it does not support Hasselblad files. And maybe they have an agreement with Lightroom, Adobe, I don't know. But this is such a light camera for me compared to what I shoot with all the time is the Z9, and their lenses are so, I love the lenses. The Z lenses, the 1.8s and 1.2s are beautiful. But man, they get heavy after a while. They really do. This is so much lighter. And there was a guy on Hasselblad had given him a camera to use, and he loved the camera, but he said, I really don't. He said, I'm a street photographer, and the weight of this all day long is too much. Now, obviously, he's never shot with a Z9 and their wide open lenses, fast lenses, because this is like a walk in the park. But it's all in what you get used to. And that being said, I absolutely enjoy this camera. It is not for everything. It is not for sports. It is not for fast-moving subjects. It isn't for animals unless they're well-behaved and sitting. You could try, but it's not. It doesn't have the continual focusing. It'll lock on focus, but it's slower. And I know that, and it's not meant for that. It's not meant for me for that. That's why I'm keeping my Nikon gear. I wanted something that I could have for me personally, and a studio camera where I can do portraits and just really creative stuff and my architectural stuff. I love it. Now, I will take it out once the 55, it's wide, but it's not really wide enough. So I'm going to look at another lens other than the 25. 25, I think, would be really optimal for what I shoot architecture with, but like for street stuff and everyday use, I don't know. I don't know if I got to see what kind of lenses they have. 55 isn't quite wide enough, but it's a great portrait lens as well. Environmental portraits, this is great. 90 millimeter gets you there, but I'd rather have a 120. Like if I'm going to do really tight portraits, a 120 would be nice. You can also crop this in, I get it. And I've done it many times before when I had the system, but I never had the 90 millimeter. It's been on back order for 1 year. I know other places had it, comes and goes. Picture Line, I got both these lenses from Picture Line, and the camera body came from Adorama. And it was just really funny. Out of the blue, the guy from Picture Line calls me and says, "Hey Joe, you still interested in that 90mm?" I said, "You know, it's funny that you called at the time that you called." So yes, I ended up getting that from them. Really nice people to work with, great communicators. I've really never worked with them in the past, and they came through with stuff that I needed. So shout out to Picture Line and Adorama. I always buy stuff from Adorama and B&H. If you're thinking about a Hasselblad and you can afford a Hasselblad, I would do it. Truthfully, I would do it. The images truly are phenomenal. I can't believe it when I see them. They're like noiseless, and they're just, the color science on this camera, portraits are phenomenal. They are literally phenomenal. Their skin tones are fantastic. This does not shoot video, so if you wanted video, you're out of luck. But if you want the best in photographs, the best in portraits, the sharpest, this without a doubt. I've had the Fuji X100, and that's a beautiful camera, but the form factor of this, it's so small, compact, the lenses are really nice, and they're making that whole series of 2.5s, kind of like Leica with their Apo lenses, the 2.0s. 2.5 on this lens, the depth of field is pretty much nothing. 90mm, even 55, if you're up close enough, and that depth of field just grows nice and smooth. And overall, I could not be happier with this camera. I will do a bunch of photographs and review on it as I keep using this more and more. Now today I have an event to shoot. I am not taking this because this is not an event camera. It just isn't an event camera. But I will take my Nikon. There's a tool for every job. Like crescent wrench can get you by, but if you have the regular wrench, it's much better. If you have the right tools, life is so much easier. And I can be in denial and say, no, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make this work. And I have done that before. Firsthand, I'm telling you, you can do it. You're not doing your best. You're not going to get your best results. So, people are paying me for a job. I want to take the tool that's going to do the job correct. As much as I love this camera, this wouldn't be the camera to use. So, that being said, if you're on the fence between the medium format and you're looking at a Fuji, I've had it. It's a great camera. And you have so many different color things to pick, and it just gets confusing. And it's just a lot bigger. The camera physically is much bigger. This thing is solid. It is just a beautiful piece of equipment. Again, much more solider. It's much more beefy than my Leica SL3 was. And there's no squeaks. There's no, like the compartment door or memory card on the SL3. I'd grab it and you hear it squeak, it will just give. And for a new camera and that, it just kind of irritates me to have that. And this, like I say, this is phenomenal. So coming up, I'll have some stuff, guys, to look at. And I can't praise this enough. Hasselblad, you did a phenomenal job, Hasselblad. I wish I could test some of their stuff out because I've been a Hasselblad fan in the film days in the 90s. And I had the 503CX, I had the 501CM, then I had the 503CX camera bodies. I had two of those, and I had all their lenses. I had the 40mm, which was very wide. Talk about a heavy lens. Whew. This, like I say, this system is great. There's so many influencers out there, you really don't know who to believe. There's a guy on there that and he's very well known, and he has every camera, and he has praises for all of them. And it's like, but he's also sponsored by a lot of them. And it's nice to be sponsored. However, are you getting the truth? I am not sponsored by anybody, obviously. My channel is so small. However, I am a real user. I use this stuff every day. And I can tell you, this isn't perfect. It is not a perfect camera, but it is perfect for phenomenal photographs, phenomenal color, and the ease of use. My Nikon Z9 is a beautiful camera. It isn't perfect. The color science is not quite right. It's just not where I like it to be. The focusing still is off. You know, it wants to find different focus points and eyes, and nothing is perfect, but there is a perfect job. There's a perfect tool for every job. And for me, this is going to be a great studio camera, a great architectural camera, and just an everyday Joe camera where I want to just do what I want to do. My Nikon will stay for what it is. It's going to be video and events. And that's pretty much it. And I'm not knocking Nikon at all. I'm not knocking Hasselblad at all. They are two different tools. So, if you love quality, not only the image that this produces, but the actual build quality, by far, this is the best camera that I have ever had my hands on. And I've had my hands on a lot of cameras. So keep watching. I'm sure I'll have more things to show and to share and to say, but whatever camera you have, it's important to get out and shoot. Do what you can, have fun with what you have, and make it the best. Other than that, if your dream is to have something like this, work for it, do it, put your mind to it, say this is what I'm going to have. And you will get it. I guarantee you, you will get it. That's all for now, guys. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you watching. And if you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, if I can help you, I'd be more than happy to help you. Okay? Keep shooting. Peace.